Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is June 29th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. As of this morning, you can see the marine there poking into some of the interior areas just a bit here, covering the coastal areas from the Bay Area all the way down the Central Coast towards Southern California. It's already starting to burn off a bit here this morning. If we scroll through this yesterday, I'm going to back up here and then we're going to play through, and you can see that marine there moving around. You see the eddy action there off of Southern California, and you can see a lot of that marine layer burn off as we go through the day, and then we don't have much thunderstorm activity, but you can see a few cumulus clouds build on the GOES 18 satellite imagery across the higher terrain. You can see some of that smoke flaring up there around the Fresno complex, and then we scroll on in through the evening and nighttime hours and then emerge back into today. But the big story coming up here is we're going to be building a big ridge here across the west coast of North America. It's really going to allow things to warm up as we go into the early portion, or at least the first portion of July. We're going to dive into some of those details here coming up in a moment. And you can see the excessive heat watches from July 2nd all the way through July 5th there. This is the National Weather Service Bay Area. Once you get away from that coastline here, it's going to warm up quite quickly here. You can see the excessive heat warning, excessive heat watches that are in effect right now. And this is the Wednesday heat risk. It does include portions of Northern California. And you can see the yellow is minor. Then you go to orange, red, and magenta for extreme. So pretty warm there. You can see Redding, California interior areas getting quite warm as we go through the second and third coming up there, and probably extend it off into the future beyond that. Taking a look at the high temperatures for today, San Diego, you can see Palm Springs at 111. And of course, if you want to get out and beat the heat there, you go out towards the coastline. You see Oceanside at a much more comfortable 76 degrees. San Bernardino 97, and you can see Ludlow out there at 107. El Centro at 110. Taking a look at the 4th of July best and worst case scenario for high temperatures here. So if we go ahead and take a look at Merced, we're expecting the temperatures to be somewhere, the high temperatures anyway, between 101 and 108 here. And then you can see, other areas. You can go ahead and check your individual areas here for the Hanford National Weather Service, San Luis Obispo out there between 80 and 89, for example. And this is the I-5 corridor, if you can't see the detail there on the map. Now, taking a look at the extreme heat risk coming up here, they all are talking about for the highest level here, and heat-related illness is popular for the entire population here. Prolonged heat event that is dangerous unless precautions are taken. This was updated yesterday morning, but it still applies right now. And we're going to take a look at the weather model maps on that here in a moment. But taking a look at the smoke forecast for today, you can see the high-resolution rapid refresh. You see the smoke production as we go through the afternoon hours, maybe flaring up again as we go through this evening. You can see some additional fires across Southern Oregon, Northern California, even a little bit across Southern California there, and you can see which direction that smoke is moving there. Pretty handy tool there to see the prevailing winds and where that smoke is going to move as we move on into Sunday night and then eventually on into Monday morning there. And this is the Department of Forestry and Fire Protection. This is the Fresno complex here, and it's about 11,000 acres right now. And this is the nice website. You can see how many wildfires are ongoing, the acres burned, fatality structures, and what kind of details for each individual fire. Now, there's thunderstorm chances here across some of Arizona here as we get some monsoon moisture here as we go through tomorrow, Sunday, June 30th. Again, off to the east, better chances here versus Phoenix, for example, and gusty winds with that possible also. And Reno, Nevada, check it out. The warm-up is also going to be impacting Reno. Check it out by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're looking at temperatures over 100 degrees here coming up, so be prepared. This is the National Weather Service Reno. And we do have excessive rainfall outlooks. This is for day 1, and this is for day 2. Again, some of that monsoon moisture up here across the Four Corners region, eastern Arizona and southern Arizona as well. Now, taking a look at the daily 2-meter max temperatures here. So we're going to scroll through the next few days. This is for Saturday. See some temperatures approaching 100 across the valley areas here. The desert's very warm. Death Valley, maybe up towards 119 or so. Then we go through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Look at that warm up bouncing with 108 here for some northern portions of the valley. By the 3rd, that we could have 110 degree readings across a lot of the valley areas. Very warm out there. Death Valley up over 120 degrees. Very warm for Las Vegas, Phoenix, the desert areas. And then we go through the 4th. Not much of a cool down, but just a little bit. Maybe chopping a couple degrees off of that for the 4th of July. But a very warm 4th of July is incoming here from much of the southwest. And there we go through the 5th. You can see the extended heat just kind of hangs with us there. And through the 6th, still pretty darn right warm. This goes all the way towards next weekend. Now, taking a look at the ridging here at 500 millibars, or what the ridging that will be coming, you can see the system kind of moving through the Pacific Northwest, little weak trough there. But then you'll see as we go on into Sunday night and we go into the early portion of next week, and you see this ridge really taking hold along the west coast of North America. And things are already warm, at this time of year here. The sun is strong, and when you build this ridge here, you're going to really warm things up. So that's why this heat wave is going to be incoming here. And you can see the storm out there across the Gulf of Alaska helping to drive and amplify this ridge across the west coast of North America. Taking a look at soundings at 500 millibars. This is Vandenberg, California, and you see we go through the summer months, we tend to get these stronger ridges. That's why we don't get many mid-latitude cyclones, and the precipitation really cuts off for much of the state of California except for the monsoon moisture. But you can see as you go back into the fall and winter months, those 500 millibar heights, they start to fall here. So you can kind of see why the summers are warmer, and as you go towards the fall areas and the winter months and then on through early spring, how those heights are lower there, and then we start to build that back up. And this is where we are, of course, right now. We're just starting to move towards the beginning of July here, so we're definitely at peak heating season here across much of the Southwest. Taking a look at the European ensemble mean here on the 500 millibar heights here. So this is what I was just showing you, and then you can see this ridging build in here, very strong ridging that's going to really warm things up here as we go into early July. Now, I showed this yesterday. This is a probability of temperatures exceeding or equaling 100 degrees Fahrenheit. This is for today. This would be for Sunday. There's Monday. And then we go to Tuesday. You can see this, virtual lock for many areas here across a lot of the valley areas and the desert areas for getting up over 100 degrees. And some areas, again, approaching or exceeding 110. There's a possibility as well. There's July 3rd here. You can see the heat is really getting established in July 4th right there. And then eventually on into 5th and 6th, we're going to be very warm yet again. And taking a look at the Atlantic hurricane season, you can see it is starting to get ramped up here. We do have Tropical Storm Beryl out there right now. But if we look at the Eastern Pacific, not expecting anything as of right now in the next 48 hours. We'll continue to monitor that as well. And the 6 to 10 day, they're really starting to latch on to this ridge building above average temperatures July 4th through the 8th, below average signal across a lot of the west, but you can see the bump in the monsoon moisture here that could be impacting portions of southeast California as we go through the 4th and the 8th of July. And this is 8 to 14 days, something similar there as well with that monsoon signal there across some of the southwest. And this is an experimental product there for risk of hazardous temperatures. This is July 6th through July 12th. You can really see the excessive heat there, moderate levels there. Or moderate confidence in excessive heat, July 6th through July 7th there, and you can see this excessive heat slight risk does encompass some of Oregon, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, and Arizona as well in the entire state of California. And this is the risk of heavy precipitation associated with that monsoon moisture there as we go July 6th through July 12th. But anyway, yeah, so be prepared for that warm-up coming up here as we go on in towards next week. It is on its way. That ridge is going to dominate our weather pattern for at least a few days. And we'll continue to break things down and check it out and see what changes and see if we have any sort of chance of precipitation on through the extended forecast. Not looking too hot other than the monsoon moisture there across some of the southwest. But otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We will do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.